Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by Arris. Today on Variant, it's Bane vs. Rhino. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than I'm looking forward to all the new DC movies that were announced last week. I'm your host, Arris Quinones. It's been about 2 months since I last did a Versus episode, so I figured it's about time I do another. And this time we have two of the most well-known villains in comics battling it out, Bane and Rhino. Both characters are extremely strong, so let's see who'd win this battle of muscles. For those of you who have seen my Versus episodes before, you know I always start them off with giving you guys some backstory for each character. So let's start with Bane. Bane was born into a life sentence for the crimes of his father. He was raised from birth within the harsh prison in the Caribbean Republic of Santa Prisca. Bane developed a strong survival sense from a vision after getting attacked. The child finally found courage to kill when he was confronted by one of his inmates. Gaining the wrong attention by the warden, he was taken into an isolation cell for his murders. The child realized that courage, dedication, and strengthening of both mind and body were his only ways to survive. Calling himself Bane, he trained his body through some of the harshest environments. When released from isolation, Bane continued his intense training while studying whatever literature he found within the prison. Self-taught within the fields of strategy, philosophy, languages, math, grammar, and more, Bane developed himself into the ultimate killing machine that even the guards were scared of. Bane eventually heard stories from another inmate about a monster in Gotham City known as the Batman. That inspired Bane to escape and look for new places to conquer besides his prison. Meanwhile, the warden attempted to get rid of Bane and nominated him to participate in an experiment to create a super-powered soldier with a steroid-like drug known as Venom. They injected the Venom into Bane, almost killing him like it did for numerous subjects before him. Thinking Bane was dead, he was tossed into the sea, but of course, he wasn't dead. The Venom actually made him stronger. Bane returned to the prison and held the warden hostage while escaping. Bane traveled to Gotham to set about his destiny to be the king. Metaphorically, that is, because actually being a king with a throne and all that stuff would be kind of weird this day and age, although the Joker would clearly be Bane's gesture. Getting back on topic, Bane's first step was hunting down the Batman, and as Bane would say, breaking the bat. Now that's how Bane came to be, but let's see how the Rhino got started. The Rhino was born as a poor immigrant from Russia who was desperate to make money for his family, so he came to the United States in hopes of finding work to provide for them. With little education and no real skills, the only paying jobs he could get were using his impressive strength as an enforcer for various criminal organizations. One day he was contacted by some Eastern Bloc agents and was offered a huge amount of money for participating in an experiment. He agreed and was subject to intense chemical and radioactive treatment, which bonded a super strong polymer to his skin and greatly augmented his strength and speed. He was given the codename Rhino and was sent to work as a super assassin. Rhino's first job was to capture Colonel John Jameson for his military secrets, and of course, because of this, he would soon meet Spider-Man. Rhino had taken on many other jobs over the years and remained steady in the criminal life. This made him come into conflict with Spider-Man and many other superheroes over the years. He also joined up with some incarnations of the Sinister Six, in which Rhino's strength played a crucial role. Now that's just how both characters came to be, but let's move on to what's going to determine who would win this fight, their powers and abilities, starting with Rhino. Rhino possesses extreme superhuman strength. He was classified as being able to lift 75 to 100 tons. Spider-Man even said himself, Rhino can lift 80 tons. It is important to note that Rhino has been made stronger in more recent years. We don't know to what extent, but we could safely say he is way stronger than what he used to be. Rhino has superhuman speed. Despite his larger size, he could run at high speeds while charging or ramming, but he still isn't nearly as fast as a speedster. The Rhino's enhanced musculature is much more efficient than that of a normal human and generates considerably less fatigue toxins during physical activity. He possesses a thick polymer matte suit similar to that of a rhinoceros's hide, covering his entire body except his face. The suit is highly resistant to damage and temperature extremes, and it is also equipped with 2 horns, designed to mimic the general shape and appearance of, well, a rhino. His horns are capable of penetrating 2-inch plate steel. His first suit was more crude in its overall design, and it was originally bonded to his skin and he was unable to remove it. It was eventually destroyed and replaced with a removable, more form-fitting suit by Justin Hammer. The suit is also specifically designed via the gamma ray treatments to somewhat enhance some of its powers. Even without his suit, the Rhino's body is highly resistant to physical injury. He can withstand high-caliber bullets and exposures to extreme cold and hot temperatures, falls from great heights, and even light anti-tank weaponry without sustaining injury. Moving on to Bane, Bane has one of the most cunning and disciplined minds in the DC universe, studying several scientific fields, languages, strategy, history, and so on. Bane has all the advantages of a classical education, but unlike other intellectual characters such as the Riddler and Lex Luthor, Bane strongly focuses on his goals without any obsessive tendencies clouding his judgments. With his coordinated mindset, Bane was able to figure out Batman's identity with little support or investigation. Bane has a photographic memory which allows him to easily study and fully understand the actual actions and the physical movements of another individual. Through the years, Bane has built his body and mind to the point his body doesn't endure much fatigue from sleep loss or physical activity. It was through the years of enduring physical training that even without venom usage, Bane is capable of having strength, stamina, agility, and fighting skills that are slightly compared to a metahuman. What Bane is most known for is his signature venom drug. The drug enhances the user's physical attributes to superhuman levels. By using the drug, Bane increases his already impressive strength. The amount of power Bane has is dependent on how much venom he takes. It gives him accelerated healing, incredible stamina, and so on. Exactly how strong he can become has never been fully established. Recently, venom enables Bane to leap multiple stories, makes him faster than Batman, able to survive falls from cliffs, throw around boulders, and it even makes him smarter. Now, those are just brief rundowns of the character's powers, as it would take way too long to talk about all their abilities. Now, usually with these Versus episodes, this is the time where I tell you guys to go to our variant Facebook page and vote who you think would win on a poll we posted there, which I still want you guys to do, so head over to our variant Facebook page after this episode. But also, you guys are always asking me to tell you who I think would win at the end of these Versus episodes. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. I personally think Bane would win this fight, and that's not just because I like Bane more as a character. I just think what makes Bane win this fight is his brains, not necessarily his strength. He's extremely smart, while Rhino isn't the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. So even if Rhino is stronger, Bane's smarts on top of his strength I think would make him the winner. But don't let my opinion sway you. If you think Rhino would win because X, Y, and Z, then vote for Rhino on our variant Facebook page. But I will say, don't vote for your favorite character. Vote for who you think would win based on their power sets and abilities. And I'll announce to you guys decided the winner is at the end of next week's episode. Recently, it's been reported that Robert Downey Jr. has reached a deal with Marvel Studios and he will be appearing in Captain America 3. It's also being said that this will kick off the cinematic universe version of Marvel Comics storyline Civil War, which is the storyline that leads to Captain America's death. Now, a lot of people seem mad about this, saying you can't do a Civil War movie, it involves the whole Marvel universe, and Marvel Studios can't use X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and so on because they're in contract with other studios. Which I agree, I think it would be kind of weird if they did a Civil War story without those key characters. But at the same time, it could be something cool and completely different. Either way, the key thing here is this is still all speculation. I mean, yeah, Marvel even teased the new Civil War comic event for 2015, but that doesn't set anything in stone. But if the Marvel Cinematic Universe does go the Civil War route, I'm not totally against it. I mean, they haven't let us down yet with their movies, so I have no reason not to trust them. Arris is an awesome shave company that was founded because of the hassle of having to go to the store and spend way too much money on razors. Their blades are half the price of competitors and just as good. Not to mention, they ship them straight to your front doorstep. Their razors also look and feel great. $15 gets you a set that includes a handle, 3 blades, and shave cream. Arris even offers a custom engraving option to engrave your initials on the razor. How awesome is that? Go to harrys.com and use the promo code VARIANT to save $5 off your first purchase. And I promise, your cheekbones won't regret it. First up for Wednesday, October 22nd is Axis Hobgoblin issue 1. Roderick Kingsley, the one and only original Hobgoblin, is back in the suit and back in New York with a brand new mission. Next, we have Arkham Manor issue 1. When catastrophe strikes Arkham Asylum, where will Gotham City house the world's most dangerous criminals? And when inmates are found murdered, what is Batman prepared to do in search for justice? Now we have Superman issue 35. Superman and Ulysses are still dealing with the traumatic revelations of last issue, but the hunt for the machinist must continue before his would-be victims fall into his hands. And finally, we have Deathstroke issue 1. The DC Universe's deadliest assassin stars in his own ongoing series by writer-artist Tony S. Daniel. If you're a Deathstroke fan, this series is a must-read. And that brings another episode of Variant to a close. But remember, you can always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic-related. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones. But I will see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics. Yes, I know I'm wearing a hat and a different t-shirt. Don't judge me. I just wanted to tell you guys, though, make sure you stay to the end of next week's episode, because starting next week, we're going to start doing a cool new interactive thing where you guys could possibly end up on the show. But I don't want to get into details about it. I'll explain everything next week.